Hey, welcome to Three Pagans on Tap.
Hey, folks.
How's everybody doing?
Quite good.
Good. Good deal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's get the pleasantries out of the way first.
Indeed.
So, happy birthday, Sarenths.
Thank you.
Early birthday.
Early, but you know. So, and just so everybody knows, this is episode 9 of Three Pagans on Tap. And it's happy early Sarenth birthday and the drinks of Odin.
Yes.
Much easier for the two people whose last name is Odinson than the guy who's a druid. But whatever, we'll play it by ear and see how it turns out.
We could have a dog episode down the road. I'm good with that.
Yeah. All right. Malik, I believe you're the prayer.
Yeah. One sec. Hail to Odin. Hail, Father, Father of Wolf and Bear, Victory and Magic. Hail, old bastard. Wide wanderer. He who hung on the tree. He who speaks wisdom and magic. Hail, King. Hail, outcast. He of 1,000 names. Hail to the first among three. Welcome, Father.
Welcome, Father.
I got to tell you, Christianity stole a lot from that. All right. Sorry.
All good.
Yeah. So interestingly, on our podcast, and I talked to Malik about this a little bit earlier, but on Three Pagans and a Cat 2 nights ago, Sunday, whatever night we record, I don't know, one of those nights, we started talking about new gods. So, and one that we had kind of jokingly come up with was called Dictinus, because, you know, I mispronounce absolutely everything. When it comes to reading patrons' names and that kind of stuff, it seems to be an issue I have. But we've noticed that when we actually hail Dictinus, I don't do it as much. So we actually brought it up to their pride. And if you get a chance, go to our Discord. There's a Dictinus channel now. And there's probably like 45 messages. There's already like drawings of what Dictinus looks like.
Oh, my gods.
Yeah, so it's been pretty amazing. And I know Malik had some stuff he thought he might talk about that too. So, but
yeah, it's really interesting to me. And I think I called this out on one of our earlier episodes when we were talking about Dictinus.
There's your ginger beer.
Thank you.
His wife is wonderful.
That's why I muted him. Go ahead.
I think I talked about this on one of our earlier episodes about there's a solid chance with that many people, especially that many practitioners, because I mean, not everyone who listens to Three Pagans and a Cat is necessarily a practitioner, but there's a lot of people who are. That many practitioners putting thought and laughter and energy and everything into this thought form. There's a solid chance there's an egregore there.
Yeah.
And now I mentioned this to Carr just before the show, whether it's an egregore or a new god making themselves known, fucking I don't know.
Right.
I don't know that there is necessarily that big of a difference in practicality, but hey, there you go.
Yep. Yeah, so anyway, it's been super interesting to like just see like a huge growth of something. And one of the things we talked about on the podcast is at one point all gods were new.
Right.
Right. So it was it's interesting. So I don't know if we're, you know, is there a god of 3 pot? Who knows? I think there's a lot of gods that are drinking gods. So
Right.
No kidding.
Yeah, is there a god? No, I wouldn't say so.
all right. So who wants to go first in this madness? Sarenth, it's your birthday. Do you want to go first or last? You get to pick.
I'll go first, and I'll go with a Yule gift I received from Caitlin Stormbreaker, my co-host on Around Grandfather Fire. This is Odin's Skull by Dansk Mjød, and it's Nordic honey wine with sour apple juice, hops, and cinnamon. 19% ABV.
Wow.
This is an import, so it's a little more on the expensive side, but it's definitely worth it, and I freaking love these. I love these.
Yeah, the ceramic bottles.
I love them.
Yeah, all
So
that
fun.
stuff comes in that. It's awesome.
So yeah, it's imported from Klovermarken in Denmark. I'm gonna try this.
Glug, glug, glug.
Mm-hmm. It always sounds good pouring too.
Mm-hmm.
It's really clear, really nice. I mean, you can't see it because it's in a horn cup, but you know.
No.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, that's definitely a good. The sour note isn't like punching you in the mouth. The sweetness isn't overbearing. The cinnamon is subtle and it comes on the back note. It's really nice. You could serve this chilled. You could serve this hot.
I dig that.
Definitely an Odin's drink.
Is there a particular side of him you feel from that?
I think I'm getting Valfather. Like the Odin's skull imagery kind of plays into that, but it's also like the taste of it is it's almost a kind of a waking up when I'm drinking it. You know, there's some drinks that are like, oh, I'm gonna mellow. No, this one is like, get up, we're gonna go kill something.
There you go.
Valfather.
Cody McCarthy asked, "Clear?" Question mark.
Okay, so it's clear for a mead.
Okay,
it's like this amber color, but it's not like cloudy, which is like some meads you'll have that'll come out cloudy and it's kind of weird.
right.
So this was not that case.
Also on the happy birthday front, Finn,
Aw, thanks, Finn.
Kai,
Oh my gods.
Josie.
Also, it's
Charlie.
his actual birthday today, so happy birthday, Josie.
Yeah, seriously, happy birthday, Joes.
And Steampunk.
Thank you.
Very nice.
So, yeah, happy birthday, Josie. Oh, Finn Odinson.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Oh,
So, too many Odinsons.
happens.
Although I noticed Finn spells his slightly different. He only has one S.
Happens.
instead of the
I mean,
two.
speaking.
Either
Go
works, really.
Yeah. Like, speaking in rune lettering, they didn't do repeat letters, so.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you, sweetie.
We do not have strawberries, beloved.
Okay.
Sorry. You're good.
Sarenth and his wife, it's Sweetie and Beloved. Here it would be like Fuckhead and something else, you know, just to be different strokes.
Mm-hmm.
Also 35 years of marriage. So,
That makes a difference.
yep. You want to go next or you want me to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
All right. So, in terms of hints received, so Sarenth bought me a set of bitters called Wild Hunt and Ancient Exorcism, which I've failed to grab the information for before I sit down because, you know, I forget things. So those came in today, just before the show, and I was like, all right, I can take a hint. So I made an old fashioned, which is a whiskey cocktail with each of them. And this first one is with Wild Hunt bitters. That's really good. It's also surprisingly mellow. So I'm not a huge fan of old fashions. I'm not really sure why. I'm just not. Did you? Oh, sweet. Thanks, Car, for tossing those up. Yeah, from Bennett's Bitters. Brain, come on. I'm not usually a huge fan of old fashions because generally they're not. Generally, people don't know how to make old fashions really well. So there's a couple of ways to make them. One of the main ways to make them is with sugar cubes or like teaspoons of loose sugar, which very often ends up with a bunch of undissolved sugar in your drink, and it's grainy and it's not real pleasant. I use simple syrup because I'm lazy and don't like undissolved sugar in my drink. Right. But even with the amount of simple syrup that I put in, the drink just basically smells like bourbon. Like there's a little sweetness to the smell, but the way that I made it at least, you're just basically smelling the bourbon with just like little hints of herbs from the bitters. But when I drink it, at least, I'm getting the bourbon and I'm getting the sugar, but the herbs are really this like smooth backbone flavor that's really nice. The purpose of bitters is to enhance and bring out different flavors in a drink, right? Like you're not supposed to like just taste the bitters. It's supposed to be like a side component that helps things along. And this does that wonderfully. Like it's complex, it's interesting, it's goes well with bourbon. Really good. To take a drink I don't normally like, that I would normally probably rate like a 2, and bring it up to this is easily a 4. That's pretty good.
What bourbon did you use with that one?
I used Evan Williams White Label, which is their bottled in bond. So it's, I think, minimum of, I forget what everything is, but it's a 100 proof whiskey, so 50% alcohol. I really like that whiskey. It's pretty good. It's not super expensive either. Like it's a one that I kind of try to keep on my bar because it's just easy to drink. Right. But yeah, so big compliments to Bennett Bitters and the Wild Hunt Bitters. So thank you, Sarenth, because that was phenomenal. And this is definitely an Odin drink, for sure. Surprisingly, not super surprisingly, it doesn't remind me of the Wild Hunt at all. It doesn't remind me of that frenzied side of him. It reminds me more of the chieftain side, but even that's not quite right. This drink is like sitting in front of a fire talking with your father, and like realizing that some people have really problematic relationships with their father. Talking with a father who loves you and is giving you good advice. That's what this drink tastes like.
Gotcha.
That was a spiel.
So a couple of things real quick. Happy birthday from Emily. And Finn asked earlier, so too many Odinsons? Like that's a bad thing? Apparently on my birthday, it's not going to be because Finn will be joining us on this very channel. So, because it's also Finn's birthday. I guess I should give him the props for that too.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
So my first one, I know nothing about Odin. That's the first thing, right? So, not part of my pantheon. The only thing I know about Odin is what I saw in Marvel movies. So, although I have a kid who, is a Norse pantheon follower, but so anyway, this is a black box Shiraz wine because I looked it up and it said Odin was the god of wine.
Nice.
So I was like, all right, cool. I'll drink a wine. Now, before I even start this, I don't like wine. But I've already had some of this. And I can tell you that is the most awful thing I've ever had in my gullet. Holy crap. It tastes like vinegar.
Oh, gross.
So, I would say it doesn't remind me of Odin at all. I would suggest nobody ever buy black box wine, I guess, or at least not the Shiraz, because holy crap, is it terrible?
I mean, Odin
It's terrible.
He does have a name that means terrible. He also has a name that means evildoer. Like,
well, there we go. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's Odin awful. It's
oh my god.
Oh, that's absolutely terrible. Wow. Shannon, don't hold any of that. If you've ever watched the channel before, Shannon, I don't.
right?
I don't think any of us do.
Steampunk wanted to know if it went rancid. No, it's tasted like this since the day we opened it. This is something I had here at the house.
Bottled ass.
Yeah, so it's I mean, it's bad. So but it is what it is. Gosh, if I had to rate it, can I go into negatives?
Yeah.
Do what you want.
Okay, it's a minus 2.5
Yeah.
out of 5. I mean, it's really, really, really bad. So out of everything I've had over these 9 episodes, that's the worst thing I've put in my mouth.
Jesus.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's awful. I'm sorry.
I've had some other shitty stuff, but that's really, really bad. So, yeah, don't drink that.
Gotcha.
Man, that's worse than that tequila you had.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
That's rough.
Whew. I can't wait to hold on.
Get something else in your mouth, like.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's much better. Okay, go ahead. Sharon, you're up.
All right. So this is my mixed drink. I bought myself some Maker's Mark, and this is $17 for this bottle. So it's not bad.
Mm.
Great whiskey. I've had it before. But I bought it because I wanted to make a Kentucky Mule.
Mm.
So what my wife was bringing in was the lime that I just squeezed the living shit out of into this. It calls for 2 ounces of bourbon, a ½ ounce of lime juice, fresh squeezed, ginger beer to top, and garnish with a mint sprig. So I've done all that, except for I put in 3 ounces of...
I was going to say, so 4 ounces of bourbon.
But keep in mind how damn tall this glass is.
Right.
I mean, that's like 16, 18 ounces right there. So, depending on how this tastes, I might add more bourbon to it. But the ginger beer I'm using is Reed's Craft Ginger Beer, 0 extra sugar, which is pretty damn important. It's only 14 grams of carbs, which is pretty good for a diabetic looking to mix a drink. So, ooh.
Need more bourbon.
Yeah.
Surprising one.
That's pretty good. The mix is a little off because they're assuming you're going to put this in a copper tumbler, not a giant fucking glass.
Yeah.
Emily, if there's room in the glass, there's room for more bourbon.
This is true. Also, I'm going to throw a little bit of extra lime juice in here because the lime juice kind of makes everything pop.
Mm-hmm.
So that should do it.
Whoops.
Wrong one. After that tub thumper, or was it 2? I no longer worry about Sarenths alcohol intake. Yeah.
Yeah, that's much better. It's got this kind of the minty notes are nice. The lime juice kind of gives this sour kick, and then the bourbon is just kind of in the background going, "Hey, I'm here." This is like chatting with Odin over a topic you're both interested in, and you're exchanging ideas instead of lecturing each other. This is definitely the Allfather when he gets to kind of wear his geek hat. I'd give this about a 3.5. The Odins Skull mead I'd give about a 4.5 because I forgot to star my stuff. That's really good. I like mules. I wish I had a copper tumbler I could have chilled before this. That would have really made this pop because the cold would have definitely added something.
Yeah.
But this is pretty good. And I'm usually not a ginger beer fan, so that's pretty good. Good stuff.
Very nice.
Malik, I think you ought to, somebody, it doesn't have to be you, should listen through all of our previous episodes, and we should do all those ratings on Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. So there's 9 episodes. I'll take 3. If each of you all will take 3. So I'll take the last 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then you all can figure out who takes the other 3, and I'll do 6 through 9, 7 through 9, 7, 8, and 9. And then if you all can do the other ones, we'll get all those ratings up on the Patreon.
Sounds good.
Cool.
All right. So with me up next, this is another old-fashioned made in pretty much exactly the same way. I mean, the proportions are probably going to be slightly off, but pretty much the exact same way. But this time with the Ancient Exorcism bitter instead of the Wild Hunt bitters. Interesting. Go ahead, sir.
It's just that there's a little bit of heat with it, and it's the ginger. It's not the alcohol. It's the ginger. It's not like my mouth is on fire, but there's a little bit of warmth.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Interesting. Good shit.
So interestingly, these bitters, you're still getting, it's still an herb-based bitter, right? It's still like an herb infusion bitter. This one is doing less to mellow and balance. This is doing more to just enhance and bring out the bourbon, which is interesting. Huh. This I would still say is a good. Oh, and the flavor just changed on me with that third drink. And suddenly I'm tasting almost as much of the herbs from the bitters as I am from the bourbon. So that's really interesting that it's like changing like that over time in my mouth. Not quite as good, I think. I would call this like a 3.75 instead of a 4. But real close. Yeah. Especially taking a drink that I'm not super fond of and bringing it up like that. That's pretty good. I'd still say it's a pretty Odin drink still.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's interesting that we've been pretty spot on with, hey, these are Odin drinks.
Except for that Shiraz.
I mean, sometimes he's a bastard. That happens. Like, let me think on that a minute, though. Car, you go ahead, because I gotta ponder on that.
So the next thing I'm doing is Bearcat Bourbon, and it's an infused bourbon. This one's with orange peel and spices. And Bearcat, it was created in honor of female distillers, bootleggers, and industry innovators, which I think is kind of cool.
That's really cool.
And they have 2 different flavors. They have the orange peel and spices that I'm having. They also have an espresso version of it. Not terribly expensive, really, really good though. So I'm going to drink some of it because I had some a little bit ago to get the taste of that shitty Shiraz out of my mouth. So 80 proof, 40% alcohol.
Ooh, good.
Got a little bit of a burn, not much. Definitely orange peel front to it. So you definitely get the orange flavors out of it. You get a little bit of the spices, almost like a pink peppercorn spice. I don't know what they add to it, but very good, very complimentary of the orange peel. This is something I could sit and drink for all night, and then just empty the bottle probably. I won't because it's Odes. So, I stole a bourbon from Ode today and a whiskey from Jackson, but this is really good. I'm gonna give this a 3.75, which is pretty good because I went from a negative 2.5 to a positive 3.75. That's an hell of an improvement. How it relates to Odin, all I know is that bourbons and whiskeys tend to be a ton of UPG with Odin. And so I will put it to that, I guess, is that UPG says Odin likes bourbon and whiskey. But because I don't worship him, I don't know how, which part of it he fits or it fits to him. But it is very, very tasty. And I'm going to shut up so that Malik can finish his thought, but I'm going to finish drinking this.
Go for it. I think this drink reminds me of the trickster side of Odin. And I say that
because he's changing in your mouth.
Yes, but also because it's focused. It's kind of focused. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, and there's not like a reason why, like in the lore or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Odin's trickster side feels a little more focused to me than Loki's does. Like Odin's tricking you. I mean, and that's not true because Loki does that too, but focus.
It's the trickster aspect. It's all good.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think that's the side of him that it reminds me of.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So I think it's my turn now, huh?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
You all right?
Yeah. I just downed the last of it, so
Jesus.
Maybe a little bit too quickly. Whew.
Okay, so this is what's called the it's Abyss by the Abyss by Deschutes Brewery. Deschutes Brewery. It's a 2016 limited release. It's aged in brandy barrels. And where the fuck is your ABV? Not that I really care right now.
It's high. I've had the Abyss before. That's actually a really rare beer.
Yeah, I can't see it. Fuck it. Anyway, it looked cool, and I was like, ooh, definite Odin vibes as soon as I laid eyes on it. He's like, yes, get that. So
it's 11.1.
Thank you.
What the internet's for.
Yep. I was like, I'm going to see if I can find that.
Oh my gosh. Actually, I'm going to pour some of this in a shot glass so you folks can see. Now that I think about I've got a shot glass right in front of me. That is dark.
Yeah.
Nice.
A lot.
Look at the head on that.
Mm-hmm. When the head is darker than some beers are. Like,
right.
Also, look at how viscous it is in the shot.
It's going to be like drinking bread. I can already tell that. Oh, the smell is really nice.
It's been aging for a while.
Yeah. Oh my God. That is so smooth. Oh. I'm getting definite Runetyr and Hangatyr, Gauptyr vibes off of this. Gaup is Fetter God. Gauptyr is Fetter God. Hangatyr is the God of the Hanged, and Runetyr is God of the Runes. I get really heavy God of the Runes vibes off of the original Dansk Mead Viking Blood, but I definitely get Runetyr off of this as well. There's this, I mean, the Abyss, the taste really does pull you in. It's almost like liquid Ganunga Gap. It's really good. It's just a pity that it's limited release. This is from 2016.
It's not too limited if you got it from 2016. It's 4 years old.
I mean, granted, my local liquor dude finds lots of random weird shit.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm honestly super surprised you were able to find that. Like
4.5 definite. This is definitely well, I'm gonna have to drink it tonight because it's a beer, but still. Darn. It's really good.
Closer.
There's a couple of variations on the Abyss that I saw. So I think there's a 2020 version. The bourbon barrel aged is really nice. This is really, really, really good.
Yeah,
it's smooth as hell. So
it's a limited release every year. They do a limited run of the Abyss every year, and it's
so worth it. Holy shit.
And the longer you let bourbon barrel aged things sit, the better they get over time, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You probably don't want to go more than 15 years on cellar aging it, but up to that point, you're usually going to get a pretty good, better flavor out of it the longer it sits.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I would suggest to people is if you have a local liquor store, get to know the guy who owns it.
Yeah.
Because they will help you find stuff that you don't think you'll be able to find. You
know what? I'm sorry. It is brandy barreled aged.
Yeah.
It is specifically brandy barrels. I am sorry.
No. Which
big difference.
Yeah.
And I think that changes year to year for the Abyss. Or maybe they do like a brandy barrel and a bourbon barrel every year. I don't remember, but yeah.
Yeah, this is really.
It may be what's available to them.
Also, that
shoots. So
it's an Imperial Stout with blackstrap molasses, licorice, which I usually hate, cherry bark, and whole vanilla beans. 100% aged in brandy barrels for 12 months.
It's also weird for somebody to say how long they've barrel aged it.
Mm-hmm. Most places don't.
Yeah, they just say barrel aged.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm mildly jealous. It's fine.
I mean, if I lived close enough, I'd be driving over for a swig of.
What you're telling me is I should go back tomorrow and get the other one.
Yes, if there's a second one, yes, definitely buy it.
Okay.
If nothing else, you could sell it on the internet. You could sell a painting you did on the internet and include a bottle of that as a gift.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
Nick, no, don't get me wrong. I do not like the taste of anise. I don't like the taste of licorice. I hate the stuff. So the fact that I didn't, I'm happy that I didn't look at the bottle because that would have biased me. But, but I don't get kicked in the mouth like anise usually does.
And I think the difference is like if you make a well-balanced beer, mead, whatever, and it has star anise in it, and it's well-balanced, it's not a problem. Because I don't do the licorice thing either. Like that's, mine comes from drinking an entire bottle of liquor off my dad's bar when I was like 12.
Did you make the mistake of drinking the Holy Deer?
It was, I don't remember what it was called at this point, but it was a licorice flavored drink, and I drank the entire bottle when I was like 12.
Oh, what a good idea!
And then was sick for like 3 weeks, but told my dad somebody broke in and stole it. So
and I'm sure he 100% believed it.
I'm sure he 100% believed it. Yeah. But yeah, so I have a severe licorice dislike. Like I can't even eat licorice jelly beans. Like that's too much licorice for me.
Same.
And, but if it's well balanced and it's in a beer or a mead or, whiskey, if it's done right, it's still fine.
No, Finn, don't fuck the deer.
Please
You're supposed to be an Odin's man, not a Freyr's man.
Finn, do I need to tell you?
I'm just going to get my beer.
Tim said, yeah, my first drunk was off of gin. Haven't had a drop since.
Legit.
Yeah.
Yep. That makes sense.
Oof. Do y'all have more drinks?
I do have one more.
Yeah.
All right, somebody go.
Malik's next.
All right. So I am drinking, if I can figure out my camera, Old Wayfarer and Oak Amber Mead from Gronfeld Meadery. This is the same meadery that I was drinking last episode, I think.
Yep.
And I'm actually surprised. So I had this mead on Thanksgiving, and I didn't super care for it, but this time around I actually like it a lot better. And I think the difference is that I poured this a lot sooner, because when I had it on Thanksgiving, it was really overcarbonated. And that made a huge difference. Like the amount of carbonation took it from being, because right now it's tasting kind of mellow, balanced, mildly sweet. And you can taste the oak and everything. When I was drinking it the first time around, it was like fairly dry because all I could taste was the carbonation kind of. But I poured this a lot earlier, and it's gotten most of its carbonation out, and now it's a lot better. So good mead, just really overcarbonated.
And that'll happen. I don't know if they filter their mead, or if they, use anything like potassium sorbate or something like that to stop the stuff from the yeast from duplicating.
Yeah.
But the potassium sorbate would probably be on the label.
It's got potassium sorbate and sulfites.
Okay. So they use potassium sorbate. That keeps yeast from duplicating. So it doesn't stop it from eating. It just keeps it from becoming a colony. So yeast kind of self-replicates itself over and over and over again. So potassium sorbate stops that. And the extra sulfates they add is probably potassium metabisulfate.
Probably.
Actually what keeps all of it from turning. Anything that's not honey based in it.
Yeah.
And we'll drop out all of the junk that's in it. So it'll all fall to the bottom and they can take it out and waste.
Yep. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to bump my rating of this one. I can't bump it as high as I want to, but just drinking this because it's overcarbonated, right? Like I had to let it sit for basically 40 minutes before it got to a point where it wasn't overcarbonated. But that said, it's pretty good. So I'll give it a 3.0.
Okay. Do you remember what you gave last week's?
I do not, but I want to say it was like a 4 or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought it was significantly higher. So
yeah. This is pretty balanced. You can definitely taste. It's got that sweetness that I would expect out of a mead. You can still taste the oak in the background. It's not super heavy. It's relatively light. I think it's. Let me check. It is 6.8% ABV, so it's really not heavy, especially for a mead.
Yeah, it's a session mead. Yeah.
And as befits the name, I think this reminds me of the old Wanderer aspect of Odin, like that. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Surprise, surprise, but
right.
I'm surprised if that makes you feel any better.
We're really gonna have to do a Dagda episode.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. All right. So is it back to me?
I believe so.
All right. I'm doing Talamore Do Irish whiskey. Triple distilled. And I love Talamore Do, so like there's not going to be a hard time rating this one.
Yeah.
Wow, don't drink that much of it at once. Hold on, let me take a smaller sip. Because I think I aspirated some of that.
Yeah, that's your lungs don't like whiskey?
No, yeah, they don't. So it's still an 80 proof, 40% ABV.
Mm-hmm.
It is a little bit more burny, for lack of a better term, than the Bearcat. Now, of course, the Bearcat's been aged and it's infused, so it's a bourbon minus compared to an Irish whiskey. So there is some differences there, but the Tullamore rating wise, I don't know, 3.5. I've had better Irish whiskeys, mostly with the name Jameson in front of them, but I like it. I mean, I wouldn't kick it out of bed.
I mean, there you go.
So it is very, very good. Again, how it compares to Odin, I don't know.
That's fine.
I knew as soon as you all picked this Odin thing, I was like, well, I'm going to be hung out to dry. Did a bunch of research. All I could find was wine, and I ended up with this fucking Shiraz. So. And maybe that's Odin like bitching at me for not doing enough research. I don't know.
I mean,
but like, you didn't do enough research. Here's a shitty wine to drink.
That doesn't sound like Odin.
That doesn't sound like him at all.
I sense sarcasm here.
Lots of sarcasm. Lots of sarcasm. It's worth noting that Odin has I think he's got so many fucking names. He's got so many associations. Like
at least 200 to 300 in the lore.
Yeah, like he has a lot of things that he is interested in, and so
anything fits.
Yeah, kind of, like like he's got enough associations that it's not hard to compare things to him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ashley says Jameson is my jam. Mine
Jameson's
as well.
pretty good stuff.
Sarenth, do you have any more?
I've got two.
Two
Okay.
more. Holy
Yeah.
crap. Normally I'm the guy loaded down with different ones. I only brought 3 tonight.
Oh,
So this one is Maniacal Mead Company Serpent's Deed.
Nice. From Ypsilanti.
huh. Neat.
So apple honey wine with natural flavors, Sizer with apple pie spices, vanilla beans, lactose, and caramelized honey. And, yeah, Maniacal Mead is an Ipsy, contains sulfites. So sorry for folks who can't have them. 14%. This is my first time having it. And when I saw it, I instantly thought of Odin as Bulwarker burrowing into the mountain when he was going to get the mead. But I also thought of Loki stealing Ithun. So it's got a good smell to it. Amber color. Looks fucking delicious. Oh my God. It's like drinking apple pie with honey. That's a 4.5. Holy shit. Whoa. This is really good. Yep.
I'm gonna have to check them out. I hadn't realized that there was a meadery in Ipsy.
Yeah, and I haven't had their mead yet, but I've talked to the guy who owns it. Super nice dude. They're right around the corner from the kombucha place.
Okay.
Good vibration or whatever.
Yeah, Unity Vibrations. They're right around the corner from Unity Vibrations. Same road.
Okay.
Yep, just down the street.
I don't know where either of those are, but I will find them. I'm fairly
Unity Vibrations makes great kombucha. They also do a kombucha beer, a bourbon peach kombucha beer that's amazing. But yeah, I would hit up both of those. Go ahead, Sarah.
Holy shit, that's good. That's really good. It's like drinking apple pie with honey. I'm not kidding. And yeah, I definitely still kind of get the vibe of Odin as the seducer and sweet talker. This is him like going, "Hey, good lad, baby, you haven't had a guy in a while. You want to give me some of that meat? I'll give you some of this." Yeah. Wow. Not a side of Odin I get very often for obvious reasons because of my last name. Because that'd be weird. But yeah, this is definitely Odin in seductor mode. And this is also, I definitely get the Loki presence of, come on, let's go check out this really cool apple I threw and you're going to love it. Yeah, this is definitely Odin and his blood brother in different fashions, depending on the context you drink it in, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, that is good.
You feel like the mead's going to get you in trouble, Sarenth?
Not yet. I have one drink left.
Go for it.
And it comes in this little flask. A little steel vial. It is Grand Traverse Distillery's bourbon single-age straight bourbon whiskey from barrel 865. It's 65.75 alcohol by volume, mashed, distilled, and bottled by Grand Traverse in Traverse City, Michigan. So it's at least 51% corn.
Shit.
And it's this all Michigan, baby. This was gifted to me by my good friend Amy, and she is wonderful, and a big shout out to her. I've already had a sip of this. This stuff is amazing.
It's a single barrel bourbon. I had hoped so.
Actually, you know what? I should pour some out in the shot glass so y'all can see what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me wash this out really quick. That was water, by the way. I have been hydrating.
Taking shots of vodka in between swigs of bourbon.
Hey,
I don't think that counts, but okay.
Look at that.
Oh, that is dark.
Right?
Huh.
Skull. That is so fucking smooth. Oh. It's Odin the Seed Master. In his Sather work. Sather is, for those who don't know, I've been doing an entire series on Witch Talk about it. Sather is witchcraft, magic, and there's a little bit more than I thought there was in there. Sather is a lot of things. Among its many components is casting spells, inducing madness, protection, offense, defense of all kinds, and of course spa, which is divination. And I definitely get him in that aspect, the latter of those from the drink I have here. This is top shelf. I've been saving this for this episode actually since she gave it to me.
Gotcha.
And I really dig the flask. But I have to
Did
go back.
I'm in the flask, or did your friend put it in the
My friend put it in the flask.
I was like, wow, that's dope. Like if you actually release a whiskey in a flask, that would be amazing.
Oh, I'd be all over that.
Yeah.
Something to aspire to. Go ahead.
But unfortunately, no. But it's got this it's this smoky flavor, and it kind of seeps into your throat. And it's almost like if you've stood over a campfire and you've kind of breathed it in. It's got that heat to it and that smoke to it. That's what that reminds me of. But not in the I'm scorching my lungs, but in that kind of warm sensation all the way down to your toes kind of a way. I could do divination with this quite easily. I would probably rate this a 4.5 or a 4.75. I'm not sure which. This is pretty top shelf. Yeah. Oof.
Did we just burn through all of our drinks in less than an hour?
We did. Yeah. So one of the things I just posted, if you live in Michigan and you get a chance, Maniacal currently has a 6-pack basically of 750s for $150.
Damn, that ain't bad.
It's their what they're calling it, but it's like their lockdown special, basically, because everybody here's on lockdown. You can't.
This is $25 on its own, folks. That's a steal.
Right, it really is. Yeah, some of their meads are 40, 35 and $40. They also ship to about 38 other states via Vino shipper, as do a lot of meaderies do, including the one I run. So, but Sarenths and I, along with 4 other people, will be on a podcast Saturday night.
Yep.
Saturday night, 7 p.m. We are doing 3 Pagans and a Cat around Grandfather Fire. And it is a drunk divination episode.
Yep.
So while we might be buzzed now, we will be hammered then. And doing divination for your questions live on the 3 Pagans and a Cat Discord server. So if you are unfamiliar with that, just go to the 3 Pagans and a Cat page on Facebook, and you can find a link to the Discord server there, or the group, one or the other. And you can listen to it live. It's open to everybody. 3 Pagans and a Cat does 2 episodes a year where it's open to everybody, whether they're a patron or not, to listen live. And that is the episode we do right before Christmas and the episode we do basically right after Christmas. Or right before Yule and right after Yule. And then also the 3 of us will be on the Wider Circles podcast on the 20th.
Yep.
So you can find that on Facebook as well at Wider Circles. It's a Zoom podcast. for this particular episode because it's goes from like 7 p.m. to 8 a.m. or something like that.
Yep, it's an all-night vigil kind of thing.
And there's a bunch of different people on it. We're on at 11?
Yep. We're on 11. You know, we've got people like, of course, Jack Mercer put this together, but you got ourselves, 3 Pagans and a Cat, Auntie Dame. A lot of folks are going to be turning out for this. Nicole Bonacevito is going to be there from Living Root Creations. So there's a lot of folks from the community showing up. And it's a time for us to all get together and enjoy Yule together.
Yeah, exactly. And luckily, I have the 21st Yule off. So, which will be good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It's going to be a great time.
Well, the thing is, you don't have to drink for the 19th.
That's true. That's true.
So Sarah and I will be just getting over probably the hangover in time to start drinking again for our...
It's like a 24-hour pregame. It's all good.
Right. It's a little bit more than 24 hours, so we're good. Except that I then have to do like 3 Pagans and a Cat's on from like 9 to 10 or 10 to 11, and then we're on 11 to midnight or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck if I remember the exact times, but I'm basically back to back on the wider circles thing. So,
and then there's drunken caroling after our section. So
drunken Yule caroling is right after that, and I'm sure I'll hang around to do that because, as everybody who listens to 3 Pagans and a Cat knows, I love to sing.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that it then? Do we have to promote anything? So, Sarah, promote where you can be found.
So you can find me at Around Grandfather Fire. We are a podcast that goes into spirituality, shamanism, polytheism, animism, and pop culture, and a whole lot more. You can find us at anchor.fm/Around Grandfather Fire. You can find my personal projects on sarenth.wordpress.com as my blog. But if you want to support me, you got to go over to patreon.com/SARENTHODINSSON and help support my work. You can sign up at Thurasaw's level and above if you want to start getting questions answered, if you want topics to suggest, all that kind of great stuff. I release a monthly video, which I have to actually go and release the damn thing because I actually finished it up. So I release a monthly YouTube video because I got to the $500 limit or stretch goal. And so now I produce video content as well as doing my written blog. So if you folks have questions you want answered, I might actually, once the current crop of videos are done, I'll start looking to the topic section to produce videos. So I've got about 8 or 9 videos left in the series to produce. So it's about 8 or 9 months down the road. But once that finishes up, topics are free game at that point. So folks, if you want to hit me up there. Hit me up at Sarenth at gmail.com, Sarenth. You can find me on Twitter at Sarenth. You can find me on Instagram at Sarenth. You can find me on TikTok, Sarenth.
And I support Sarenth through Patreon. So
absolutely.
Yep.
And vice versa. So yes, definitely hit up 3 Pagans and a Cat. They are an excellent resource. They're wonderful people, and I am honored to be doing the drunk divination with them yet again.
Yeah, yet again.
Malik,
where can people find you?
Yep. So you can find me online at our Discord, 3 Pagans on Tap Discord server. You can also find me at my blog, malik.home.blog, which I haven't touched that blog in like 6 months, but I'm planning a kind of a pretty major revamp of the blog and to get a lot more active come January. And you can also find me on TikTok, where I do a bunch of work with Sarenth, actually, at Malik Odinson. And that's it for me.
Yeah. So, Malik, when are you going to start your own Patreon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm glad I asked that question.
In January, that's when they're going to start it.
Yes. Yep. So January sounds like a good time to start a Patreon.
Yeah, sounds like a great time. Maybe the first is when you should put it up.
Sir, I don't even know. Just by the first.
Has good poems over at odins-gift.com.
Yep. A lot of those were featured on my blog, and Michaela Maka asked for permission to use a lot of those. Yes, odinsgift.com is a great compilation of heathen poems and poetry.
There you go. So for me, 3pagansandacat.com. We have a Patreon. Obviously, 3 Pagans on tap. We have a Patreon. So feel free to support us. And then I won't be drinking my kids' stuff.
You can also support this show.
Right, that's what I said.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
On tap. Yeah. Support this so that I don't have to use my kids' alcohol to get us through the show. I can actually buy alcohol for this show. Luckily, my kids are really cool about it, but you know.
I mean, they've been drinking yours for so long.
That's very true. But at 30 and 27, they can buy their own damn alcohol now.
Right. Oh my God, I'm going to be 35. Jesus.
Yep.
You're going to be 35?
Yeah. Wait, how old did you think I was?
It's not the how old did I think you were thing. I thought you were actually younger than 35, but
thank you.
Yeah, it's just that I'm fucking old. So like, I have a kid who's 5 years younger than you. So
Oh, two things before we sign off. One, I told Finn that I was going to do this. So y'all should look at Finn Odinson on TikTok because he has a deal with his kids where if they get enough followers by, I forget when, I think their birthday.
Yep, January 12th.
Yep. If they get enough followers by their birthday, then they have to do something like dance on TikTok or something. So you should follow them if you're listening to this.
Yeah, he has to have 20,000 followers, I think is the number.
Mm-hmm.
By the whatever the hell it is, January 12th. It's my birthday. You think I'd be able to remember it?
Yeah, right? Like a month. That's cool.
Yep, definitely.
Oh God.
Sorry, I went to TikTok.
You're good. And also off of our Patreon, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 patrons. At the taster level, we have Melkor, Josie. That's it. Sorry, I'm blind. Melkor and Josie at the taster level. At the half pint level, we have Emily Hall. And at the pint level, we have Ganessa and Lauren Faithful. Thank y'all so much for supporting us. It means a whole hell of a lot.
That's amazing.
It does. It actually pays for this program that allows us to be able to put this out.
Very nice.
Considering we're only 9 episodes in, that's freaking amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Finn's currently at 10,500 followers. So he only needs 9,500 followers more. I promoted this on the 3 Pagans and a Cat podcast. I have a feeling we'll promote it very early on the 3 Pagans Around Grandfather Fire podcast because I really want to see this dance. That's what it comes down to is I really want Finn to embarrass himself. So,
yep, I'm down for this.
Yeah, yep. Preferably before he's on this YouTube thing with us, so that we can make fun of him and maybe like bring it up and show it to everybody.
Mm-hmm. That'd be neat. Yeah, actually.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to do. So if he can get to that 20,000 by the 12th of January, we'll actually play that video on this very show. So, all right. So that's it for us. If you want to hang out with us more, we'll be on our Discord here in just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks. All right. Take care. Be
Bye,
safe.
everybody.
Be safe, y'all. Bye. Is it over?
No, not yet.